Good evening. Coming up tonight.
A South Carolina congressman is in the news again this week. What Senator Lindsey Graham introduced to the floor and how it might affect you tonight.
Plus, where to find the best falafel in Columbia. We have the story.
And later, USC football had a rough weekend against the Razorbacks, and they have another tough matchup this weekend. More on this coming up.
But first, our meteorologist, Caiden Dinkins, is in the studio here with us now. Caiden, what can we expect to see this weekend?
Well, Riley, this week has been looking pretty cool for us, but those temperatures are on the rise for the later end of this week. But I'll have more details on that forecast coming up tonight on SGTV Student News at 7.
Live from the Kennedy Greenhouse Studio.
This is Student News at 7.
Good evening, Carolina. I'm Riley Hackett.
And I'm Caroline Smith. Thanks for joining us tonight. A U.S. Senator from South Carolina made national headlines this week. Senator Lindsey Graham introduced a bill Tuesday to create a federal abortion ban.
The Protecting Pain-Capable Unborn Children from Late-Term Abortions Act would prohibit abortions past 15 weeks of pregnancy. The law would allow exceptions for rape, incest, and life of the mother.
If passed, those who violate the law could face a prison sentence of up to 5 years. The bill came as a surprise to many, as Graham has previously stressed the importance of states' rights in the abortion debate.
When Roe v. Wade was overturned in June, Graham said on Twitter, quote, "Today's decision by the Supreme Court is a long overdue constitutional correction allowing for elected officials in the states to decide issues of life," end quote.
Many Republican senators, including Minority Leader Senator Mitch McConnell, continue to support abortion laws on a state-by-state basis.
The issue of mental health is on the rise among students. However, reports from earlier this year show students in over half of South Carolina schools do not have access to a counselor. The Department of Health and Human Services found that there is one counselor for every 1,300 students. DHHS Director Robbie Kerr said this rate is, quote, unacceptable in a letter to Governor Henry McMaster.
Rates of anxiety and depression have increased across the country since the COVID-19 pandemic began. DHHS plans to implement a new program to cut this 1 to 1,300 ratio in half in the next year. The state will fund this project, and the Department of Psychology at the University of South Carolina will develop the project. It will help students with mental health needs and increase access to counselors across public schools in South Carolina.
The same DHHS audit found that students are 20 times more likely to access mental health resources in schools than outside of them.
Changes to some aspects of this broad issue are already underway, such as Medicaid reimbursements, counselor shortages, and allowing for telehealth counseling services. The City of Columbia is considering funding a pilot program to reduce gun violence among the city's youth. City Council will vote on whether to approve the initiative at their next meeting.
If approved, the city will partner with Gangs in Peace, a nonprofit group led by ex-gang members. Mayor Rickman proposed the program after police reported an 18% increase in gun violence in the city this year.
The city hopes to use $28,000 in state funding for a 3-month trial period of the program. That money will pay for basketball camps aimed at keeping teenagers off the streets. The pilot program would target children in 3 neighborhoods that see the most gun violence.
The council will proceed with a vote on Tuesday, September 20th. If approved, Mayor Rickman hopes to start the program October 1st.
This past Sunday, the University of South Carolina held its first Imagine Carolina retreat. University President Michael Emeritus and Vice President for Student Affairs, J. Rex Tolliver, hosted the event. The event drew about 150 student attendees. President Emeritus planned this event to understand the issues students care about on campus and discuss possible solutions to those issues.
The students and hosts covered many topics about university life, including parking struggles, a lack of awareness of student success resources, and boosting inclusivity.
President Emeritus has openly spoken about his wish to hear directly from students, saying, quote, "To create the most exceptional experience at South Carolina, we must first hear directly from students," end quote.
Vice President of Student Affairs Tolliver also spoke on the importance of considering student opinions and feedback, saying, quote, "I can't work effectively on behalf of students if I don't see students or hear from them," end quote. President Emeritus plans that this event will happen again in the future.
Coming up after the break, what's going on in Gamecock sports going into this weekend? Stay tuned to find out. This weekend, the South Carolina football team hosts the nation's #1 team. Zane Heinlein is here with the details. Zane?
South Carolina football has already played 2 games this season, winning against Georgia State week 1 before being defeated by Arkansas last week. Coming up on Saturday, the Gamecocks return to Williams-Brice Stadium to host the Georgia Bulldogs. The defending national champions are the best team in the country, according to the latest AP poll, thanks in part to a defense that has only allowed 3 points through 2 games and the veteran leadership of quarterback Stetson Bennett. The Gamecocks, on the other hand, will be down 2 veteran defensive players this weekend against Georgia. Linebackers Jordan Strahan and Mo Kaba were both hurt last week against Arkansas and will miss the rest of the season. Defensive backs Cam Smith and RJ Roderick are also among 5 Gamecocks that head coach Shane Beamer listed as questionable for Saturday's game. South Carolina kicks off against the Dogs on Saturday at 12 p.m. You can catch the game on ESPN or the SEC Network. That's what's going on in sports this week. For SGTV News 4 Sports, I'm Zane Heinlein. Back to you.
Thanks, Zane. Coming up next, News 4 entertainment reporter Emmitt Murray will tell us what's happening near you. Stay tuned.
Welcome back. Joining me now is entertainment reporter Emmitt Murray to fill us in on what's happening in Cola this weekend. What do you have for us, Emmitt?
Well, get excited because Columbia's 35th annual Greek Festival is back. Holy Trinity Greek Orthodox Cathedral has once again opened their doors to host this 4-day-long festival. From now until Sunday, you can stop by anytime from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. You'll be able to enjoy the music, atmosphere, food, and drink, and learn a little about Greece. It's also for a good cause, with the money raised going towards a church as well as charity. So I've actually never been to a Greek festival before, but my roommate was telling me about it. He was really hyping it up. I think you said you've been to one, right? How was that?
I have, yeah. My hometown always had a Greek festival, and I love it. Love some
good?
spanakopita.
Oh, I'll have to try that. I think we're gonna go tomorrow, so I'm excited.
Nice.
So also, if y'all are some food fans, good news for you all seafood lovers out there. Mr. Seafood is hosting an all-you-can-eat crab leg night this coming Sunday, September 18th. This event will be held at Charles W. Johnson Stadium. Gates will open at 4 p.m. and cracking will start at 5. And don't worry, if you're not a crab leg fan, they also have shrimp, fish, and more available for purchase. You can purchase tickets for this event on eventbrite.com. I don't know about you, Caroline, but I can bust down on some crab legs. So I am so excited about this.
I am admittedly not a big seafood fan, but I'm excited that you're excited.
I'll eat enough for the both of us.
Thank you. That's all your entertainment news for tonight. Coming up after the break, meteorologist Caiden Dinkins will give you the weather forecast for this weekend. We'll be right back.
Now, the Atlantic has been really quiet this season. We are actually past the peak of our hurricane season, but we are going to be keeping an eye on Fiona, as that storm has just been named as a tropical storm. We are going to have an extended break from that rain for the rest of this week, but as that storm gets a little bit closer, we will be seeing a little bit of rain at the end of the week. Those temperatures are also going to be warming up on Wednesday, but it has been feeling like fall this week. So let's take a look at those high temperatures for the rest of the state. The state has been looking at a low to mid 80s for the whole entire day, as well as the rest of the week. But those temperatures are starting off cool in the morning and then warming up to the afternoon. As also right now in Columbia, South Carolina, it is 80 degrees. Those temperatures are warming down as it is getting towards the later evening, and the wind is going 8 miles an hour from the east. That sky cover is 5%. Not too many clouds out there for us. Nice and pretty. You can see the moon. Humidity is 49%. Now let's take a look at the rest of this week. So Friday, 87. Those temperatures are quite cool, and then we start to warm up just a bit on Monday through the rest of the week. That highest temperature is on Wednesday. Those skies are clear, but looking through the rest of the week, it's going to be nice and sunny for us, and hopefully that weekend will stay clear as well.
And finally, tonight's Carolina K9 features Stormy.
Stormy is a husky submitted by Gracie Johnson. As Gracie puts it, Stormy is a typical husky, ripping up carpets, playing fetch, and people watching in his free time. He also loves car rides, going to the beach, and most of all loves playing with his mommy.
Huskies really are just big balls of love and energy, and it seems like Stormy fits that bill.
Absolutely. I also love going to the beach and taking car rides, so I think me and Stormy would get along great.
It seems you would. That's all we have for tonight's edition of Student News at 7.
Be sure to follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at SGTV at USC.
To keep up with all of our content, be sure to also visit us online at sgtvonline.com. For News 4, I'm Caroline Smith.
And I'm Riley Hackett. From all of us here at SGTV, have a great night, Carolina. Forever to thee.